Good morning, everyone. I'm John Panecker with the Mohave Valley Daily News, and this is Daily Dose for Wednesday, January 20th. Jeff, you know what day it is?
I thought we were going to sponsors, but we'll come back to you. What day is it?
It's Hump Day.
Oh, yeah, Hump Day.
You know what else?
What else?
It's Inauguration Day, and it's Carrie Faring's birthday today.
Oh, we got all sorts of things going on. Okay.
I'm thinking 4 years ago, this was a huge day for her. On Inauguration Day for the president and her birthday. Thinking today, probably not so much. So, the Daily Dose, now that I've gotten that out, is brought to you by Tri-State Radiology Center. The Tri-State Radiology Center is an American College of Radiology accredited facility. Tri-State Radiology serves the tri-state area, and we now accept Medi-Cal. Our professional staff is here for you and will work with the healthcare providers in the community to help take care of your health. At Tri-State Radiology Center, your image means the world to us. All right, our Wednesday paper is always our thickest paper, so let's dig in. Our top story, County reports 12 new COVID deaths. Yesterday we had almost only good news, and today it's a lot of bad news. Out of those 12, 7 of them were in Bullhead City. It seems kind of a big number, but we had 0 for the weekend, so maybe this is some catching up there. If you get a chance to read the story, there's a lot of information there about the percentages, percentage of the population that has tested positive, the percentage of the positives that have died. We'll talk about it in a few minutes, but yesterday in the country, we passed 400,000 dead. So that's heartbreaking, but the case is dropping, and we also have reports that the amount of hospitalizations are down a little bit. Denise Hurley, the director of the county health department, spoke a little bit about it during the Board of Supervisors meeting yesterday. So that's kind of encouraging news. Hopefully it continues to drop like that. See our picture here, stabbing investigation. If you watch our YouTube channel, you saw Jeff was out there yesterday. There's a little QR code in the bottom. If you look at the video here, you see that is the victim in the middle, kind of a large man. The woman was reported, so we got a report of a stabbing on Phyllis Drive in Bullhead City. According to reports from the Bullhead City PD, 27-year-old woman, we'll show her here in a second, reportedly stabbed her boyfriend in the neck during a domestic altercation. You see the officer walking through the screen there with the knife. You see her, she's going back to the back of her car to put it away.
That's evidence now, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a nice picture of it, and a smile for the camera. That's awesome. So when the police showed up, the woman was still standing there holding 2 knives and initially refused to drop them. They deployed a non-lethal rubber bullets, formed to subdue her. You see her right there in the middle in the white. She's been arrested. We don't know what the charges are. They're pending as of this morning, so we'll see. All right, Needles man charged in girl's death. These are this is the results of the fire from last week. Earlier this month. Christopher Williamson, 35, was initially he was charged with 2 counts of child endangerment in the deaths of his 1 and 3-year-old children. Now that's been changed to murder. So we don't have any additional information on why they changed it from endangerment to murder. We know that the mother was not home; she was out traveling. And the father, when the police and fire and everybody showed up, the father wasn't there either. They contacted him, pulled him over the next day, detained him, arrested him, booked him on child endangerment, and those have now been changed to murder. Council set priorities for legislative session. We talked about this yesterday, that the city council last night was going to be talking about the legislative session. In that picture, you can see Mayor Brady is phoning in remotely over Zoom. That's because he is in Phoenix expressing his opposition to House Bill 2049, which would affect the city's eminent domain process. This is just aggravating. Oh, that's editorial. I better not give you any editorial. Anyway, Representative Jeff Weniger, who is a Republican out of Chandler, for some reason during the whole eminent domain process, he got involved and disputed or filed a complaint with the Attorney General that the city managers and the mayor were getting involved in lobbying on one side. His complaint and the complaint that came from the EPCOR PAC were identically worded. So you tell me where that came from. Now he has introduced, and he did it last year, but COVID kind of wiped it out, House Bill 2049, which basically says that if you take over a company, you have to inherit all of their bills and all of their, in the eminent domain process, all of their bills and all their liabilities as well. Well, that's ridiculous, and the mayor is up there fighting it. So he had asked that that get put on the city's legislative agenda. So they added that. Mark Clark also asked that they put it on there that the city oppose any transfers of fourth priority rights of mainstream Colorado River water to the Central Arizona project. That's something that we've talked about quite a bit in the past. They are going to endorse House Bill 2077, which provides $5 million for a variety of projects on water wherever gas-powered boats are allowed. They want to return local government control on short-term rentals. So there's about 3 of them here in town. Right now it's governed by the state. They want to return that back to the local city government. And then House Bill 2071 would take about $22 million from the state general fund to help repair Highway 95 from the Parkway all the way down to Courtright, all the way through Fort Mohave and Mohave Valley. And then the last thing is Mayor Brady asked that they add. He wants to lobby the state legislators to create and pass a bill prohibiting registered sex offenders from operating taxis and ride share kind of things. So we're going to be doing that. All right, this morning, President Trump bid his farewell. We're about 2 hours, a little bit over 2 hours away from the inauguration, but before that, he bid his farewell. I think Jeff's got some video from that. There you see the President and First Lady heading up to Air Force One. This is leaving Andrews Air Force Base. So this was, he had left the White House this morning, went over to Andrews, did his farewell speech, and
this is his farewell goodbye then?
This is the
farewell goodbye.
So we think that this is, he's getting on Air Force One. We believe he's heading to Florida.
Going home?
Going home to start his new life. So,
well, to start his life where he left off 4 years ago.
Restart. Yes. Continue. So
there he is, waving goodbye.
Whichever side you're on, this is a historic moment with the president leaving. Late last night, he did his pardons. You know, it's customary for a president on their way out to sign a portion of pardons. He signed 143, which seems like a lot, but it's not when you compare it to all the other presidents. I think President Obama's last day was 300. President Clinton was at 140. What's interesting about it, though, is that some of them are some pretty high.
Some big names?
Some big names within his administration. The last one was Steve Bannon. So Steve Bannon and him had a falling out. And then I guess over the past month or so, they've started to bring things back together. I don't know if that's because Mr. Bannon was looking for a pardon or what, but he was the one that was accused of, and it hasn't gone through the courts yet, but he was the one that was accused of raising money for the wall, $25 million for the wall, and then that money somehow didn't make it over there. So we'll see what happens with that, but he's been pardoned now, so it doesn't really much matter. President-elect Biden, for another 2 hours, marked the nation's 400,000 death yesterday with a ceremony there out at the Capitol. It was pretty sad little thing. Good news is we have high school sports again. It started with a thud yesterday for the Lady Patriots. The Melt girls basketball team got beat up pretty good by Kingman. They were without their head coach, Neil Sherrill, who is dealing with an exposure to COVID. It's a safety protocol, so we don't know if he was tested positive or he was near somebody. But they lost 51-21 to Kingman. So not the great start that we had hoped for. We also, the Lady T-Birds, Mohave girls soccer team, played Prescott yesterday and played well. It was 2-2 at the end of regulation, but they lost 5-2 in overtime. So that's that. This is also the day where we do our Laughlin Times. So let's see what Laughlin's got going on.
Good old Kane Wickham.
All right, project advances despite LEDC opposition. So what that is they're talking about the bridge. We talked a little bit a week or so ago about the city council moving it on and how the Laughlin community now had to move forward with what they're going to do. So the Laughlin or the Clark County Commissioner, Michael Naft, who handles the Laughlin area, is moving it forward. This is the $35 million bridge. The people on the Laughlin Economic Development Corporation believe that it should be used for other things, but it is moving forward. It's out there for bid, and we'll see how that goes. But it looks like it's pretty good shape. The VIPs, it says right there, VIPs nearly pandemic proof. So the VIPs are a division of the Laughlin Chamber of Commerce. There are about 90 of them that are in various levels of participation. They're all volunteers. What they do is they go out and they help the Laughlin community and the Bullhead community. They staff they're the welcoming committee when at the Laughlin Bullhead International Airport, but they do a lot of other things. Some of the vaccine and testing things that the Laughlin community has done, they've been involved in that. The CAA, the Community Achievement Awards, are involved in. Well, each of these events, they raise a little bit of money. At the end of the year, in December, they decide what charities those are going to go to. So they normally give out about $10,000 a year, which is amazing. This year, because of COVID, they were only able to give out $4,000. But Donna Engelmeyer, who is the chair of the VIPs, was able to dole out $4,000 checks. That was to Fred Doughton and Mickey Seathaf of Caring Hearts for Horses, $1,000 to Michael Jackson for the Colorado River Food Bank, Robert Brandifine for the Guardian Foundation. That's the group that focuses on the homeless here, and Sharia Lyles with Food for Families. So $1,000 to each of them from the VIPs. Good job, VIPs. They do a lot of work. And finally, the Entertainer. This is a very popular product that we have. This edition focuses a lot on Sedona. So if you've been locked in the house and you are ready to get out, we have two areas here near Sedona. The first is the Tuzagut.
Are you hacking that, John?
Probably Tuzagut National Monument. It's a Sinagua village, Indian village, at the top of the hill. It's about 20 miles southwest of Sedona. It's a step back in history. So you see how these people, it was a small little village and it grew and grew and grew, and they just kept adding on to this one massive thing. When you read this, Hilltop Haven, Do not read this sports thing over here. It's all garbage. Don't believe him, especially the part about the Packers.
Whoa, wait, what? What did he say?
He kind of dissed my Packers. He says the Packers are overrated and they couldn't possibly.
He can't believe they're where they're at.
We talked about how great the Rams defense is, the same Rams defense that the Packers put 32 on.
Okay, I get it.
Moving on.
I get it.
Our main story here is Sedona. It's the Red Rock Rendezvous. If you haven't been up to Sedona, it's beautiful. There's a million things to do up there. They talk about the uptown Sedona. So it's kind of a funky thing. If you go into Sedona, they got their downtown, but they also have the uptown area, which is really nice. Pink Adventure tours, the Vortex sites. We did some hiking when we were up there. It was pretty awesome. So check it all out in here. Read all about it. This is also the one that has all the casinos promotions in it, all the things that are coming up. It's a very popular publication and very informational. Hey, 59-cent Roma tomatoes over at Safeway. You see that?
I did not, but I know you're going to get over there.
I do like Roma tomatoes. I make my own salsa that way. All right, everyone. I dropped this.
Oh, gosh. Terrible thing to do.
Thank you for tuning in. Remember, the Daily Dose is brought to you by the Tri-State Radiology Center. The Tri-State Radiology Center offers same or next day appointments, and they accept most insurances, including Medi-Cal. They have a wide-open MRI and offer digital x-rays with your reports ready in 24 hours. Call them today for an appointment at 928-460-7226. Thanks again. I hope that we're able to get through today without any craziness happening around the country. There's a lot of protests and that going on today. But fingers crossed, everything goes fine. Thanks for joining us. I hope to see you here tomorrow for Thursday's Daily Dose. Jeff, thank you very much for your help.
All right. We'll see everybody tomorrow morning.
See ya.